Hello? Yeah, speaking. Who's this? Oh, Mr. Grills. Yeah, Mr. Grills. Yeah, I'm big fan. Yeah, I know who you are. Some tips, you say? You want to give me some tips? I'm always down for some tips, you know, I'm always up for growing the channel, etc. Yeah, fire away. Oh, I don't have to stay in camp. I can go to a hotel at night time. You do it all the time. Hello everybody, and welcome back out for another wilderness adventure. Guys, I've had a very stressful week. I've been trying to get out all week to film a couple of videos, and the wind and the rain has been horrendous. So I'm going to start this video by saying I'm really sorry if you're picking up on the wind noise. It's horrendous today, but at least it's dry. My camera equipment and arm and everything's not getting saturated with sideways rain. So today's video, I was asked recently by a company who I've done quite a bit with to name my top 5 items that I always have in every bag. So today it's only going to be a short one. I'm not going to talk about them too much, he says confidently, but I've bought a variation of top 5 items that I'm going to show you and talk about very briefly today. Okay everybody, quick relocation just to try and shelter you from the wind, just so you enjoy the video a little bit more without having to turn the volume right down and put subtitles on. Right, so without further ado, 5 items that I would have in every single bag. First and foremost is shelter. This is my chosen shelter system, a tarp. Now a tarp can be used for various other things as well as a shelter. You can use it to capture rainwater, you can use it if you fold it in half as a stretcher, if you've got a good decent one. You can use it to carry stuff about, so you could put stuff in it, fold it up, tie it to a stick and carry it as a bit of a hobo bag, if you know what I'm referring to when I say a hobo bag. I'll put a picture. But yeah, first and foremost, some way of sheltering. Now this could be a tent, it could be a hammock, it could be a poncho, it could be anything you could rig up as a shelter. But my chosen one is in every bag, if I'm perfectly honest, whether I've got the bivvy, or I've got the tent, or I've got the hammock, I've always got a tarp with me as well. So that's the first of my 5 items. Second of my 5 items, cordage. Now this is just cheap paracord, this one. I don't even think it's $5.50 if I'm perfectly honest. But it's got the strands inside, it may only have 5 and not 7. But cordage is always going to be good if you have to build a shelter. If you have to build 4 walls out of wood you've salvaged or anything, it's always going to be handy to have a bit of cordage with you. My third item is going to be a way of purifying water. Now this could be a filter. I've got my water to go active here. It's got a bit of tap water in it. It's starting to rain. I could capture some more water if I can be bothered to put my tarp out. But yeah, a way of filtering water, because you're always going to get thirsty and you're never going to be able to carry enough water. But yeah, a good filter, highly recommend. But also, if you haven't got a filter, a way of boiling water. Now this is just a clean canteen, stainless steel bottle if you want. I have put a different top on it just because I find that this top works better for me. But yeah, you can pop that on top of the fire without the plastic top on, and you can boil your water, making it safe to a certain degree. Not going to be as safe as this, but to be fair, in an ideal world you'd have this and this, because you'd decant this into there and then boil it to be 100% sure. This will do 99.9999 reoccurring % of all pathogens, diseases and everything else out of water, so that'll do for me. But yeah, just to be 100%, that's what I would recommend in a perfect world. That was number 3. Number 4, which you all know me, number 4 is always going to be a cutting tool. Here we have my MOD survival tool by MOD Kit, or aka Dandy Andy. I've just done a video on the sheath of this knife, and I have actually got a video that's doing quite well on the channel of the actual knife, so I'll put links in the description to that. But a knife is always going to be good for building traps, building shelters, skinning critters if you manage to capture anything and you're that way inclined and you need to survive. You don't have to have such a big knife, it's just going to make life easy for cutting down trees, building traps, making spikes. But just to show, I've also got my neck knife. I'm going to do a separate video on this. This is made by a friend of mine, Loz Harrop. You might have heard of him. Oh, hold it the right way around, numbnuts. But yeah, very nice knife. Tune in a couple of Wednesdays time. Try not to take my finger off, and I'll show you this in detail. You don't have to have a fancy 80, I don't know how much that is to be fair, 80 odd pound knife. You don't have to have a quite expensive UK made knife. You could have a little Mora. This is my Mora Companion. I've had it the longest out of all my knives. A little Mora, not as thick as the others, it's not going to be as robust, you're not going to be able to batten, but you are going to be able to do basic jobs around camp, so that would absolutely suffice to have in any kit bag. And for the final item, a fire steel, or a way of making fire. It doesn't have to be a fire steel, it could be a lighter, it could be a flint and steel. You might be one of these people that likes rubbing sticks together. The knife will help you build that, to rub your sticks together. You've got your cordage to make your bow, if you're making a bow drill, and you've got a knife to make and get all the bits from. But my chosen, as you've seen in many of my videos, is a fire steel. This is my EDC bag, by the way. Everyday carry for those who don't know. But in my EDC, I always have a fire steel. Now it's a growing EDC, I need to put a lighter in there amongst other things. But yeah, I always carry a fire steel with me, because you never know, you might break down on the side of the motorway and it might be 2 hours before you can get recovered. Make a little fire. Balls to it. You got to keep warm, you've got to survive. You know, if your engine pops and you can't sit in your car with the heaters on, you might want to make yourself a hot drink. I carry hot drinks in my car. In fact, I think I've got a couple of coffees in this bag. Make a hot drink on the side of the motorway if you've got all these bits. But yeah, that is my 5 items. So just to recap, we've got the cutting tool going back into the bag. Various different uses. We've got some cordage. Can be any cordage you want. It could be bank line, it could be jute twine. You can make cordage. This will just save you a lot of time, and my chosen is paracord. I've got container, or a way to purify water. So yes, I have a container, but I have a way of purifying water. Everyone needs water to survive. And I've got a shelter, which in my case is the tarp. And that is my 5 essential items. Now if I had to choose one more, and as a bonus item, a container. A container to carry your water to and from, although you can do that in your water filter, but you can cook your food in this. You can make a stew, you can boil, and you can fry an egg, you can do various different things in this. So if you're out for a prolonged period of time, I'm not talking a couple of hours on the side of the motorway now, I'm talking you're going away for a weekend, make sure you've got a way of cooking your food. Always gonna be good, because you have to eat at the end of the day. Anyway folks, a little short one due to the weather today. I hope you enjoyed it. Tune in on Wednesday when I've got a 5-minute Wednesday video for you. And until next time, if this weather buggers off, I'll get you something a bit more substantial. I hope you're all well, look after yourself, like, share, subscribe and all that stuff that a load of YouTubers are telling me to say. And I'll see you very, very soon.